For many of us, January is a time of getting motivated, setting New Year's resolutions, and I always love that time of reflection. But the truth is, for some of us, it can also be a pretty discouraging time. You've just gotten through the holidays, you've been busy. It's really a marathon if you think about it. You've been running the gauntlet of social activities, sweet treats, alcohol, caffeine, being social, spending maybe more money than you're usually comfortable with. That's a lot for our nervous system and our brain to withstand. And a lot of times we kind of forget about our bodies during that time. January comes along and you think of it as sort of this fresh start, but then you feel some brain fog and you're feeling kind of lonely and the winter blues are starting to set in. This is all what I've written about most recently in my blog article called The January Crash. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Landry of Ethredge Counseling Group in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm the practice owner of a counseling group that focuses on women and couples and trauma. So in our population, this is something that we see quite a bit. This January crash, these winter blues that set in after the holidays. And so if you're kind of struggling with that right now, some things to be thinking about is not so much focusing on intensity and these big goals and big resolutions, but how can we start small habits to help our nervous system re-regulate? Because most likely we've been in a state of fight or flight for at least a month, if not more, depending on your holiday and travel schedule. And so your nervous system is basically fried at this point. And a lot of us get sick in the winter because our nervous system finally has a second to, or our body kind of finally has a second to relax. And that's when the flu sets in, or that's when the mentee bee sets in, or whatever it might be. And so if we can start just helping our nervous system to regulate and take off some of that shame and actually be maybe thankful for our bodies, send some gratitude to our bodies who have just, like I said, run the gauntlet of the holidays. And we can start to do things like drink enough water, get enough rest, start therapy. I really believe winter is a wonderful time to start therapy, especially after the holidays. You've got a little bit more space in your schedule and maybe a little bit more brain space to start putting in the building blocks for the new year and start habits that will really kind of set you up in a trajectory that's going to make you feel really good. Probably right now you're feeling maybe not so great. You're maybe feeling a little bit more bloated, and that's kind of giving you this sense of like, in general, you're feeling extra tired. The dopamine and serotonin, everything's crashed with the amount of maybe alcohol that's been consumed that you're not used to. So there's a lot of really good reasons. That's why I'm talk about taking the shame off. Your body is really actually doing quite a lot for you right now. And I like to send a little bit of gratitude to our bodies for withstanding the things that we throw at it sometimes in this modern world that I just feel like maybe we weren't necessarily built for. And so considering your nervous system, putting in some things that will help it regulate. I really can't stress enough the importance of sleep, not just for your body, but for your brain. Movement, gentle movement, just taking a walk, even if it's cold, putting on those layers and getting out, even if it's just for 5 minutes, just getting some movement in is really, really crucial for your mental health and for your overall well-being. A lot of the suggestions I have in this most recent blog article have to do with the body, and I don't want to get confused for weight loss. I'm not qualified to give advice on that. And a lot of these things, I think, a lot of these habits are often used in order to lose weight. That's not on my radar. I'm really thinking about your mental health and things like movement, water, protein, sleep, vegetables. All of these things are the building blocks in order to have a healthy brain and you know, your brain might be doing everything it can, but it's just not going to be able to overcome not having those things. So movement is a huge thing for your mood, your health, your mental health, to fight depression and anxiety through and loneliness also through the holidays. So really recommend checking that out. And if you are like me and need a bit of verbal processing, I really recommend reaching out to a therapist. If you're in South Carolina, certainly reach out to us. If you're in the Charleston area, you can do in person, or if you're anywhere throughout South Carolina, you can do virtual, which is an awesome option. And I just think it can be a good time to, like I said, get yourself on the trajectory that you're really wanting to go in 2026 or whatever year you're watching this video. And really feel good about the next months and the next year ahead. So love chatting with you guys. Drop a comment, follow, like, head over to the website, www.ethredgecounseling.com, and you can read all of our articles there. You can also schedule a consultation if you're interested in starting therapy. So hope to hear from you soon.